All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to the live stream. Today is not going to be a trading day, actually. We're going to do an hour or so here and see the open of the market. I want to go over a few things and basically just introduce our Black Friday deal, see how the market reacts, give you guys the update on what I think the markets will do, and kind of go from there. So if you're new here, we generally do live trading on Wednesday. However, today, the day before Thanksgiving, and Friday, which is a half day, are two of the worst day trading days of the year because you get very, very low volume, algo driven trading that generally this day is bullish, and you would expect just kind of a slow grind higher. But we do have some competing narratives today, so we're going to go over that in just a minute of what level we're at and what level is important. It's an extremely important level for the bulls and bears here, and like I said, I'll get into that in a minute. As you know, Friday is considered Black Friday, which is the big sale day, and Monday is Cyber Monday for online sales, all that big stuff. We are going to participate in that ourselves here at Invest with Jacob. Right now, I'm giving, we never, ever, ever give this big of a discount on the yearly indicators, 25% off your first year. That's over $100 off there, and well over $100 off of that. And we're also going to do you can see the one on the screen there, 30% off of the first month. However, I'm running a Black Friday deal. It's not quite out yet. The page will be out later. You can come back. I'll send out ads and links and stuff. But if you want to see what the deal is going to be, it is you're going to get IWJ Pivot Point Pro, and you're going to get Advanced Elliott Wave for free, and you're going to get Price Action Masterclass for free. It's a 2-hour price action training I did in Trade Waves Academy, and that's all going to be for $39 a month fixed price. So not just your first month. Moving forward, you're going to get the indicator for $20 off the indicator price, and you're going to get Advanced Elliott Wave and price action trading as well. This will all expire Monday. Cyber Monday will be the last day of this deal, but that's what we're looking at overall with that. So those are the Black Friday deals, 25% off the yearly indicator over at the website, and then I'll send a link to this when it's time. It's not ready yet. I still have to finish up the video for it, for the page, but it'll be out today. So once again, it's $39. Here, I can scroll to the top. The video is not on it. It's all right. The video is not on it, but it's going to be 34% off. And wait, I got to click the button, don't I? Where's the button? Right there. So all three for $39 a month. You're getting Pivot Point Pro, you're getting Advanced Elliott Wave trading and price action trading, and it's $39 a month moving forward. Same 30-day money back guarantee, all that stuff. Nothing's changed there. So that's our Black Friday deals that we'll be putting out here. The yearly indicator deal is already out. You can go do that now on the website. You can use that code BF25, Black Friday 25. Make sure you put that code in before you hit the buy button so that it discounts the price. And you can do that. So that's the Black Friday deals. We'll get into what the market is doing now. So if we go over to the ES here, we are at a very critical level. If you just simply draw a line across the main level here, this 6801 area they came into overnight. They've been struggling with it all night. This is the 3-hour candle. They've spent 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 hours at this level and have been unable to break through. This is a super key level for the bulls and bears overall. If we zoom out just a little and come over here, you can see that this level is important back here. Back here, there's a ton of resistance at this level. Right now, in the short term, the bears are in control of this market. In the short term, this is not a long term, this is a short term thing. Back above 6,800 with force moves the market back into a neutral to bullish phase, and then over 6,900 turns us fully bullish and looking at new all-time highs in the 7,030 or so region on ES. For the bears, we would view this as a bigger A, B, and then if they can start to build a C wave down, we would look for a much bigger decline down toward about 6,200, and we could at that point start having some small discussions about the top being in. We won't be fully on board with that yet, but it'll start to look a lot more like that's the case should that happen. More and more things are popping up in the tech market, and tech debt is getting wild. The spreads are getting wild, which means that people are worried that tech is going to default on its debts to try to build AI, Oracle being a big one. So just keep an eye on those types of things. The market has plenty of problems with banks and everything else. There are lots of reasons to have worry about this market. In general, I believe this also kind of connects this trend line. I haven't drawn it yet. Yeah, basically it's going to connect the trend line. Not quite, but they could come up a little higher in the trend line. If we drew the true trend line, it's a little higher. But this area is a major resistance zone for the bears and bulls. This should be a big battle, and should the bulls get through, that turns the market into a neutral to bullish phase. Now, I would be wary of today's typically bullish, so we could see them kind of come up here like this, and then maybe Friday chop up here, or Friday give you one of those surprise Black Friday crashes. So don't just assume that because they grind higher that they've cleared this. They need to really get through 60. I would say like 68.25 or something would be a pretty solid push through that level. And then as long as any back test of that level holds, we would look for them to come up to 6,900 next. And then after that, all-time highs. Volume is low. Is that better? I just turned it up. Okay, sorry about that, guys. At any rate, 6,800, huge level here. That's what we'll be looking for today at the open. I suspect if the bears are going to make a move today, I would expect it to be fairly early in the day, which is why we're going to go for the first half hour or so of the market to see what happens. The longer you get in this day, and especially past roughly noon Eastern, the more and more volume will decrease. The more and more people who are already taking off work, the more and more trades that won't be happening other than the algo trades, and the market at that point tends to drift in the direction it's going. So if the bears are able to ignite a flame to the downside, that will tend to follow through if they stay there into the late parts of the day, because the algo just continues to trade the trend. If they ignite a flame to the upside, that will tend to stay true, as the algos again tend to trade in the direction of the trend when there's no volume. All right, let's check out some comments here real quick. Inner Wave Flow, good morning. Grateful for this community, for your day-and-day presence, your cool head, wins and losses, indications, guidance, and wonderful indicator you've developed. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to you, Inner Wave Flow. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Smash the like button if you feel Jacob is bringing value to your trading journey. He deserves it. Plus, we believe YouTube assigns better stream quality. I appreciate that. Mike, welcome to the stream, RC. Welcome to the stream, Arcturian. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Really grateful that you guys are here. This is a time to be thankful, obviously. We should always be grateful and thankful. We shouldn't just concentrate it into one weekend, but I couldn't do what I do without you guys. Have this business and this community and the people that I really respect and care about and love seeing do well and improve their trading and winning. People always say, oh, if you're good at trading, why would you share it with everybody? Well, I'm not a dick, for one. I mean, if you want me to be honest, like, this isn't something that is a limited supply. It's not like I found a gold mine and I was like, hey, everybody, come over here and get this limited supply of gold with me. Everyone can trade in the same direction, and that doesn't hurt anything at all. It doesn't hurt me at all to tell you how to trade or teach you how to trade. It doesn't limit my ability to trade, and it, quite frankly, gives me a lot of fulfillment to see people like Inner Wave Flow saying how much they appreciate what's going on and how much it's helped them. And I've had a lot of traders who have actually left my room because they have gone on to become professional traders and no longer needed the room's help, and I take that as a compliment. They sent me long thank you messages. You know, I've had traders that I had one trader specifically whose wife got pregnant, took maternity leave, and never had to go back to work because he got so successful at trading. That's the stuff that, you know, you'll find that if you have done anything at all in life besides sit on your couch and watch Netflix, that making money is great. You need to do it. You have to have money to survive because you need to eat, you need to pay your bills, you need to have a house, all of those things. But making money isn't what really is going to fulfill you in life. It adds to the fulfillment. It allows you to do more things that can fulfill you, but a sense of community and love and family is far, far greater than anything money can do. And if you have both, then you are very, very, very lucky and should be grateful for all of that. And I feel like I do. Um, and part of that, a big part of that, is you guys. So I really, really appreciate you being here. If you are small minded enough to believe that, or greedy enough or selfish enough that you believe if you find a little trick or secret or something that you can't share it with anybody, um, I feel bad for you, honestly. That's a tough way to live. When I was in the corporate world, one of the things I learned early on in the corporate world was you want to train anyone under you. So a lot of people think I'm the boss and I need to keep all my boss's secrets so nobody can take my job. It's actually the exact opposite. If you're a good boss, you should want everyone under you to know everything that you know so that you can move up to the next place and have somebody to replace you and have a great team under you. So when you move up, you can hire one of those people to take your job and know that your job and that team is still going to succeed, and you as the next level up boss don't have to go down and get in the weeds of that team and fix it. And the more people you train to do things right, the better it is. And quite frankly, in this particular field, I am anti-Wall Street. I think Wall Street is a tremendous vehicle for wealth and money and all of those things. However, they do a lot of things that I don't know if they're. No, I do know they are intentionally malicious. Um, they manipulate the market in a way that they understand what the big players, and especially in this algorithm driven day, what they have figured out is um, most humans are predictable. You can pin their emotions, you can pin them into a certain spot, and they will react the same way every time. They will panic and they will hit the wrong button and do the wrong thing. They'll have fear of missing out, so they'll get in late. They'll have fear of losing everything, so they'll get out when they should be getting in. And they trap them every time, and they do this stuff and they run tricks over and over and over again. And my goal is to expose those so that less people get destroyed and more people find wealth. So anyway, that was a long diatribe on thank you. I appreciate you guys. And again, we won't be trading today. Today is a horrible day trading day. And this is, guys, this is something you need to start to realize in your trading journey, is that you don't and you shouldn't be trading all the time. You don't need to be, and you shouldn't be trading all the time. You need to recognize when the environment is good for trading and when it is bad. Trend days, bad. Holiday type trading, bad. Half days, generally bad. Those types of environments, you don't want to necessarily be day trading in. You're looking for volatility. You're looking for back and forth. You're looking for spreads and moves that can be capitalized on. If you're trying to day trade Procter & Gamble, I don't know what you're doing. That's a sideways stock. Verizon, that's a sideways stock that never really moves that much. They may grind higher. I mean, their stock price will improve, but they're certainly not going to be moving 3-4% every day like, say, a Google or a Apple or a Nvidia or the SPY or something like that. You should be trading stocks that have liquidity. You should be, or ETFs that have liquidity. You should be trading that are, and by liquidity, I mean easy to get in and out of. You can get into these really small penny stocks and buy 10,000 shares, and then it moves up 30 cents, which is an amazing move on a penny stock, but not be able to get out because nobody's there to take the other side of your trade. So you always have to be careful with that stuff. And part of becoming a professional trader is realizing the environment you need to be in to trade successfully. So no trading today. This is traditionally a horrible day-to-day trade. I burned up a lot of money on this day, and I won't be doing that in the future. So that's my trading philosophy. You guys can obviously update yours. crash SP 500 in a week? I don't know about that. Honestly, so if you've been around a while, you know I was looking for them to come down to the weekly 21 and go back to all-time highs. They have now finally hit the weekly 21. It took a lot longer than I expected, but they did it. And now they've bounced very strongly. And today, for me, will kind of tell the truth. The 6,800 level, as I said, very big level. Getting back above that with some force is likely to push us into all-time highs again. That doesn't mean that a crash isn't coming. I'm 100% in belief that we are in a very late cycle bull market and that every top should be treated with extreme caution. It's why we moved out of the S&P in April of 24 and into gold and doubled our 401ks in a year. And I just think the S&P has an insane amount of risk right now, and so does the NASDAQ. But that doesn't mean we can't keep grinding to all-time highs. You know, when the thing about macro is it takes a long time to play out. You know, micro stuff you can see and get in days and weeks and months, but the macro can build for years before it really comes to a head. So even though you see these headlines, hey, bank liquidity is a problem, hey, bank balance sheets are a problem, hey, tech spreads are a problem, that can still allow the market to grind higher into a new all-time high before the effect is felt on the market. So just because you read that, that's why the news is useless. Awareness of what's going on is important, but treating that like it's going to affect the market in the way you think is not a good way to look at the news or the market. So just a heads up on that. And welcome to the stream, Lilith. Lilith, that's a Banks. I'm going to go with Banks. Jacob, I've had your indicator for a while now and I absolutely love it. Has improved my trading, and your services and education are a blessing. Thank you for all you do. Happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate that, Arcturian. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Guys, it's really a great thing if you follow the rules. It's when you don't follow the rules that you're going to get in trouble, because with all of trading, with everything out there, nothing is perfect, right? Nobody's got a perfect indicator. If they did, everyone would have it. Everyone would be a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. But if you follow the rules of my indicator, yes, you're going to lose. Yes, you're going to have losing streaks. But the wins far, far, far outweigh the losses. We just got our November totals in. Let me see what Matt said they were again. Sorry, Matt, as a paid subscriber that chronicles all this, as kind of a third-party fact checker, if you will. And Matt just gave it to me. So the results, we were up $5.38 per contract for the month, times 50 contracts for $26,900 for November. November is one of our worst months typically. It was now this was a record month. Profit year to date now $83,750. So if you're not aware, we were trading 25 contracts when we started the indicator. We did that for over a year and a half and produced like $60,000 in profit, something like that. In the last couple of months, 3 months, we've moved to 50 because we have grown our capital enough to be able to sustain 50 contract wagers or investments or trades or whatever you want to call them. They're all the same. It all means the same thing. And during those 3 50 contract months, the first one was September. Actually, that was a terrible month. We were 4 cents positive. Woo! So that one wasn't too good. But the next two were, what was October? October was 24,950, and November was 26,900. So $50,000 in 2 months is pretty remarkable. We've absolutely crushed it, and my Schwab account is happy for it, and I hope all of yours are too if you're following the rules and following our trades. We've really been just out of this world good the last couple months. Now, this is what you have to understand. The 2 months before that, August and September, I think in August we were like negative something. It was negative for sure. Negative 3,000, maybe negative 5, maybe negative 5,000. And September was positive 4 cents. So you're going to go through bad turns, but the negative 5,000 was wiped out 5 times over in October and 5 times over in November. So the wins greatly outweigh the losses if you simply follow the rules and understand that following the rules doesn't mean you're going to win every time. It means that's going to be the most profitable way to do it, and that even following the rules, you're going to have some bad times because that's trading. Every trader in the world, George Soros has been humbled, Ackman has been humbled by the market, lost millions and billions of dollars. The only one who really hasn't been truly gotten that I'm aware of is Buffett, but he's a long-term buy and hold guy, and as long as you stay alive, you can generally wait out the bad times. So many traders have gotten really, Michael Burry has been humbled. Tom Lee has been humbled. He had to send an apology back in October of 22 for how bad his trades were and the messages he was putting out. So if you understand trading, then you understand that losses are part of trading. And if you can understand that little simple fact, that will change the way you view trading completely. If you understand that losing is part of trading and you can start to look at losses as learning opportunities instead of panic opportunities, you'll do so much better. Buddy of mine signed up for the yearly indicator a few days ago. I'm pretty excited that we will be able to collaborate together and build upon strategies. That's awesome. Thank you for sending your buddy over. Day trading from hotel in the AM, playing craps all evening in casino in Cherokee, North Carolina. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, I hope you do well today. Remember, it's a tough day, Brad, to day trade, so I would be careful with that. And if you do well, don't blow it all in the casino. Or do, I don't know. Have fun. And welcome to the stream, guys. George T, hello. How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Happy Thanksgiving. Guys, if you didn't see earlier, Black Friday sale on the screen, 25% off of the yearly. That's 10% more than I've ever given off the yearly, and this will be the only time you see it. So take advantage of that if you haven't already. That will be available until Monday, and that's for your first year. After that, it goes back to the regular price. And real quickly, while we wait for the market to open here, we are running a Black Friday sale, and on that for the monthly, I'm giving it to you for $39 a month, so $20 off, and then I'm also going to give you our Advanced Elliott Wave class and our Price Action Master class, which was a two-hour class that I taught on price action in TradeWaves Academy. It sells for $67 on the website. I'm giving it to you for free. So all of that is there. This is not available yet. I still have to finish the video. It's almost done. That's a lot goes into this stuff. But once this video right here is done, this page will be out, and you guys will be able to take advantage of the offer. All right, guys, again, just to recap, 6,800 huge level. They're going to open slightly above it here. It looks like they're at 6,805. We got about 3 minutes to the open. Let's open this so I can see where this ES is. If I'm being... Now, the one-day max up here at 681, that's interesting because if they get through that 6,800 level, and they're going to be real close. 6,800 on the SPX is where all the calls are, so it's going to be about 6,815 or so on ES. So 6,800 on the SPX is the number to watch. And then we'll see what happens there. If I'm guessing, you might get a quick spike up and then a reversal today if the bears are going to do anything. If the bears are not going to do anything, they won't even be able to break down through 676. This will be the first level of contention right here, the 675, 76, 675, 90, 676 area. These lows where you got this buy in the pre-market, obviously we won't trade those. If they can't, even start getting through that, then you got problems for the bears today. 0 DTE wall, that's going to be a big one. They get below these two spots. So 674 is going to be the level they need to break to really get momentum down, and then 669 being the one-day min. This consolidation zone off of the move yesterday makes sense. We'll watch for that. Remember, the later in the day we get, the worse the trading is going to get and the slower the market is going to move, so don't overtrade today. I can't say that enough. Minute and 30, any questions? Anybody got any... anything they need to share? Get off their chest? Can I post levels in the room? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I wasn't trading today, so I didn't think about it. My bad. Let me do that real quick. And guys, if you want to get these levels that I have, Mentor Q is an incredible resource. They give you these 1-day high and lows, max mins, all this stuff that's really important levels so that you can have them on your screen. There's a link down in the video description that'll get you a discount on it. Full disclosure, I do get a kickback from Mentor Q, but I don't push anything that I don't like. I only push 2 products, and one of them is this one, and the other one is TradingView. If I'm telling you to buy it, that means I have it, and oops, that's not what I want to do. That means I have it and I use it and I love it. I would never, ever, ever tell you to buy something simply to make a buck. That is dishonest and stupid. I only recommend things that I use and love. Forgive me for a second, guys. I am going to have to switch charts because for a couple seconds here on a couple different charts because I need to get these levels out. SPX is at 67.91. We're looking at about 6,800 being the call wall there. So if they can get through 6,800, that's where the positive gamma and the squeezing really starts kicking in. And again, today is notoriously bullish. Just keep that in mind as a backdrop of what you're trading against today. It's always nice to know the statistic or the statistical data, just so you can say, you know, if the trade I got as a buy, it's much more likely to succeed today than a sell. That doesn't mean I wouldn't take the sells if you're trading. Well, I'm not trading today. I wouldn't take anything today personally. I've mentioned that. But, you know, follow the rules, but just know what you're looking for overall. Almost there. We're not trading, so I'm not too concerned with it. Here's the spike up I was looking for at the open, right into 6,800 on the SPX. We'll see how they react there. Thought we might get a spike to open, given that we were not quite at the levels we needed. And this is a great way to trap. So if they are going to reject, this is a great way to trap. You get a gap up, you get a go right at the open, you go to the key level and you fail, and then all the late buyers are trapped. All right, one more and we're almost done. Okay, got right into 6,800. They're down 3 points off of it now. Not a big rejection yet, but we'll see how they do it here. The NQ had a ways to go to get to its rejection level as well, so seeing a big jump in the NQ, or a bigger jump in the NQ, certainly not anything I'm worried about. What's the cost of Mentor Q? Is a subscription or one-time buy? I think it's $99 a month, but I think you get 20% off with my coupon, so that makes it what, basically $79 a month. 6,800 on the S&P, the SPX cash is the call wall. So we should be looking right in this zone for rejection. And remember, rejection doesn't have to come to the penny, because I'll show you in just a second once the NQ levels come up. There they go, finally. I'll show you why we don't have to hit. You don't have to. So support and resistance, and holding support and resistance certainly doesn't mean it hits it to the penny and goes back. Because if it did, everyone would be able to nail that, right? Does it do that sometimes? Yes. Does it do it every time? Of course it does not. And the reason is they need liquidity. They need to trap, and they need to scare. So we'll look at that in just a second. Let me finish posting this last one. We can finally be done with that. We'll get back to the SPY. We'll turn that off. Okay, we got a spike up here. Let me turn all of our levels on. I don't have anything on right now. Okay, so let's talk about support and resistance real quick while we're doing this. So you have a level here. Let's just say it's this level here. Now, if that's the key level, let's say that's 6,800. Okay. If I'm coming into that level from the bottom, as soon as my screen gets ready here. One sec. There we go. Okay. Every seller is looking for that level to get short. Well, if I only get to here and I turn down, well, all of those sellers are left hanging up here and they miss the move. So they do that a lot. If I come above it, all of these sellers start to worry and the buyers get in because the buyer said, oh, we broke 6,800, and then they come down. So the third option is obviously they come up and tag it exactly and everybody gets what they want. So the people who are long want to sell here and they get trapped or miss their sell. The people who wanted to short are here. They don't get in. And so you screw two factions of traders there. And then the same thing happens here. The people who wanted to sell got in, but then the buyers come in. They think it's right. The shorts start to panic. They get stopped out and then they short. So the buyers get in and get trapped. The shorts get out because they get stopped out and then they turn it down. And then, of course, on this one, it's a much easier trade. So that is how they trap you in 3 different ways. Well, 2 different ways, and then obviously the tag of the level. So right now, sitting right at that 6,800 SPX level. And Andy, welcome to the stream. Again, guys, not trading today. Today is notoriously bullish, and it's notoriously bullish in the sense that it's going to go like this. So you're likely to get a lot of like sell signals that don't pan out. The caveat I would give you is that we are at a major resistance zone. That 6,800 on the SPX is a major zone. So if you want to try once or twice off of that zone, I understand. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, why are you doing that? But for me, this just isn't a day to trade. Again, though, the biggest reason was I wanted to go over the key levels, give you guys a background, say I'm thankful for all of you, and also the Black Friday deals that you saw. So that was the main purpose of this live stream. Next week, we'll be back to normal trading and live streaming as we always do. Okay, here's the rejection of 6,800. We'll see if the bears have anything today. Again, there's a lot of reasons for this market to go down. However, statistically, seasonally, this particular day is not generally one of them. So you have 2 competing narratives. We'll see if the bears can follow through. Like I said, the bears need to do it early because the longer and later in the day this goes, the more this is going to fall into just straight algorithm trading, and the algorithms on these types of days tend to follow the trend and grind into whatever direction they see fit. So if the bears are going to make a move, I would say in the first half hour of the day, I would like to see it. If they stretch it out to 10:30 or something, whatever. But generally, you want to see it early in the day if they're going to make a true rejection up here. From a market standpoint, let's see what we got here. The market actually started negative on the ADD. It's an interesting thing to see. It's now turned back positive, though. You've gotten a strong push up. So it started about negative 80 or so, and now it's positive 500. So a strong push from the bulls on the ADD. Vold is green, and NVIDIA bouncing back over that 180 zone. That is a key zone for NVIDIA, and they were testing in the 170s yesterday. 164 is their big support they must hold. Mag 7 mostly green. You got a little bit of red on NVIDIA or on Meta, and a little bit on Amazon. Banks very green. Transports mostly flat. RTY is green. So you're getting a lot of bullish support here. That's not unexpected. That doesn't mean it can't flip. But currently, you're seeing the bulls kind of push on this level. Everybody finding a bid today. Gold is green, silver's green, Bitcoin's green. So all areas of the market are trying to be green today, which again goes along with the theme of the day. Notoriously bullish day. The market is up 30 points and we are at 6,800. It would not shock me to see kind of a sideways grind and, close around this level for the day, around 6,800. That would be a 0.5% up and a nice bullish day, which would fit the narrative of what today is, and then catch everybody off guard on Friday. That wouldn't shock me either. For me, it's just more interesting because this level's so big. 6,800 is basically going to define the final 6 weeks or 4 weeks of the year, 5 weeks of the year, whatever. Whether it's going to likely be a little more bullish and back to all-time highs, or a little more bearish and potentially really bearish. You'll know that it's going to be really bearish if they break Friday's low, last Friday's low. That's basically the weekly 21 area, and breaking through that and closing below it will trigger the shorts to push a little more, and then we'll see how they react after that. But that should trigger a bit of a sell-off if they break Friday's low. If you want to think about it in Christmas terms, you could say if they get through 6,800 solidly, you placed your order on Amazon. If they get through 6,900, your order shipped and it's on its way to you to all-time highs. If they fail 6,900, then your order got delayed, and then Amazon will probably have to cancel it because for whatever reason, if you don't get your order in the 2 days, it seems like they can't figure out what happened, and then you never get your order. So 6,900 is the confirmation zone. 6,800 is the transition from bearish to bullish, or bearish to neutral to bullish. Still sitting at 6,800 here, 3 candles into the day. Obviously, this is the level, so we may be here for a while. seeing that the gamma wall's up here at 680, I could definitely see him do this. Data's out at 1:45, by the way. Oh, they had some data at 9:45. Let's see what they had today. I didn't even look to see what the economic calendar was, honestly. Today is Wednesday. Now we had jobs claims today, and I don't see any other data coming out except for at 2:00 you get the beige book. So we've already had one cell flash, and then it burned. It crashed and burned. So if you were trading today, you're already down one trade. And again, I just don't. They're above the pre-market high. They back tested and they've made a new high, which typically is going to give you a trend day, but and that's what you would kind of expect. But I would be cautiously optimistic on that trend day. But I just feel like you're going to burn up money if you're trying to sell this market today. Chicago PMI is on Friday at 9:45. NQ is lagging. Yeah, I haven't looked at the charts. Let's see what NQ is doing. It definitely is. It made a spike. ES made a spike and then broke through it. NQ is still kind of consolidating here. But NASDAQ is and can catch up very quickly. Or is catching and can catch up very quickly, I should say. Jacob, do you plan to trail stops on the swing? Now we are down to runners. On the swing long, yeah, we can. I do. I'll probably give them through the weekend to see how they play out. If it gets nasty today, maybe we'll change our opinion. But kind of depends on how today goes. I don't want to get. I don't want to get too tight on those stops because I think there's plenty of room to go here. I think there's 230 points potential upside coming. But we will. I want to see how today goes first. SPY 680 and QQQ 615 could give round number reversals. Yeah, 680 is where I would look for the SPY for sure. That's a huge gamma wall, which should basically coincide with 615 on the Qs. 681 is the one-day max. Basically, it's like 681 and change. So those areas should contain the move and then maybe give us sideways to down price action from there. But again, guys, notoriously bullish day today. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress how bad of a trading day this is in general. It's really hard to trade against. And because it's low volume, it can get sold on Friday or Monday. That has happened in the past. But traditionally, this day is bullish and usually fairly bullish. Usually it's a decent move up, 0.5% or so, or 1% move up, and we're already over 0.5%. NASDAQ still hasn't made a new high. They're still rejecting over there. ES, obviously, and SPY, as we can see, pushing a little further here, 68.07. So they're either going to break through here directly, which seems a little odd to me. A little pullback here would make sense. But again, today, notoriously bullish. They could run a trap here, like I said, hit 680 and then down, trap all the late buyers, stop out the sellers. The example I gave before. You essentially have a trend day on your hands as far as parameters go, though. Again, I would be cautiously optimistic on that, given seasonality and how this day usually runs, but no rejection of 6,800 is a little bit. Smells trappy to me. It smells like they're going to come back and doesn't mean they're going to fail, but they can definitely do something where they come up and close the day up here somewhere, and then on Friday do this, and then Monday come back up. They could definitely do that. But it doesn't. They typically don't run through big levels like this without any resistance whatsoever. And if they do, you'll see them back test it pretty quickly. In fact, that happened not too long ago. If we go over to the other chart, I can show you a quick example of how that works. Where was that? That was here. So this was a very key level for the bulls, and they ran right up to it and then through it. Actually, I need to go to the daily chart. This is the 3-hour. That might not be the example. There was one they definitely ran straight through and then immediately came back to, because that's how it works. Well, this one for sure. So they came up here. This is the daily chart. They rejected early. They rejected this candle, and then they blew through this top, and they blew through it for a few days, and then they gave you the rejection afterwards. They did it again here. They rejected here. That wasn't a good example. Where is another good example? I thought there was another one we just did. Maybe I'm forgetting. Oh, they came back up to this one. They blew through it right here. So they came up. They gave. Next day they squeezed right through, and they're able to gap and squeeze, but then they came right back down and rejected from, gave you the low off of this area. They came back below that area. So what you would typically have expected here is this to come up to here and then do something like this. They didn't give you that. They gave you just a blow through. So what they did is they came back later and gave you that. So they definitely do things like that as well to trap, where there's a key level that they want to get back to, but they don't want the people to profit here, so they do it from up here, things like that. Okay, starting to get a sell here. We'll see if this one plays out. A few more minutes here, guys, and I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys do too. Again, tough day to trade today. This is your second chance at a trade. You're already 0 for 1. Let's see how this one goes. If the bears are going to do it, I think this is the time. We'll see if they're. Let's see if we get any support from the ADD or the Vold on this. iShare or iShair. I don't know which one it is. Welcome to the stream. They got to get back below the 21 here, which is about 677.70. They get through that, they're going to come test 675.85, and then they can start making some hay if they do that. They really got to get through 675 and 674. This can be a big support area today if they get down there. NASDAQ did poke a new high and then turned down. New high of the day, not new high, all-time high or anything like that. We'll see if they can follow through as well. and then we'll get ready to kind of wrap up here. All right, guys, this will be the last candle I'm here for. The bears are trying to get something going here. This sell looks like it could maybe have been a winner. What is the? Let me look at the options for today. Are they high? That's a tell as well. $1 and $1.34. No, options are pretty low. So options are not pricing in any volatility whatsoever. $1 on the call side and $1.13 on the call side, $1.30 on the put side, which is pretty standard normal volatility stuff. So they're not pricing in any volatility yet. Obviously, that changes when things change. The market isn't always right, but just another clue that support is likely to hold when they get down to it. Right now they're at VWAP, decent support area. They got to get through the 21, and that leads them down to 675.85. All right, guys, while this last candle is going, again, thank you guys so much for being part of the group, being part of the live streams. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I can't do this without you, and it gives me a sense of purpose and fulfillment instead of just trading, helping other traders make money and see the market in a different way and improve how they make money and hopefully improve their lives. That is something I'm very happy to do and very happy about and very proud of, and I hope that you guys see that and take advantage of those Black Friday deals. You will not see prices like this again. The other deal will be out shortly. You can find it. I'll be sending out some reels on my Instagram, and I'll probably do a YouTube video and some other stuff to advertise it. But I really appreciate all of you for being here and being part of this community. So thank you for that, and have a great holiday weekend. Spend time with your family. Don't worry about the market on Friday. Just stay away from the computer. I know it's hard. I look at my phone all the time. It's annoying. So enjoy the long weekend. We will not be at doing anything on Friday, so I won't be in the rooms. Nothing will be going on. It's a half day of trading. It's a miserable day to trade, and whatever the market does, it does. So enjoy the weekend. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a great time with your family. If not, have a great long weekend. And we'll see if the Bears can break it down today. All right. I really, really appreciate you guys. Hit the like button if you got any value today. Randy, welcome to the stream, and thank you for that. Thank you. I will be here next week. Full force. We'll be trading again and ready to roll. All right. Thanks, everybody. Be careful trading today. Remember, it's choppy and bullish. That is the theme until proven otherwise. And if the Bears do prove otherwise, look out for an elevator down. Have a wonderful weekend. And